at a Fry's parking lot. Initially, police said it was an undercover drug deal. Now, Mesa police say officers in uniform were tracking a man wanted for a parole violation. That man was in a stolen car that pulled into the Fry's. When the officers got close, shots rang out.
They did have the big identifiers as police, both front and back.
One suspect was killed, another is hospitalized. An officer was also hurt, but is expected to be okay. Well, even though the story has changed, we wanted to look into just how common undercover operations are. For more, let's send it over to Celeste.
All right, thanks, Emma. Undercover operations happen in the public anywhere, anytime, and more often than you may realize. Joining me is a former ATF Special Agent Joe Gordon. Joe, thanks for coming in this morning.
My pleasure.
He's seen hundreds of high-risk undercover operations in his career. Joe now works as a private consulting investigator in the East Valley. How often have you witnessed these undercover police operations go wrong?
About 1% of the time. It's true, as you said, hundreds of undercover police operations took place yesterday across the nation, and hundreds will take place today. The public only knows of the 1% that do go wrong.
How dangerous are they? When you take a look at the situation that happened recently, you think, goodness, you take a look at the parking lot and the scene that it created. Pretty dangerous situations.
Every one of them is extremely high risk because the officers are so highly trained and have the latest techniques and the best equipment. Rarely does the public ever know they take place, but the most dangerous thing for an undercover agent is not the villain discovering that they're the police, but that the undercover role is played so well that the bad guys decide that he is a fellow villain and we will rob him. We will use deadly force, so we will take his contraband or money because he can't report it to the police. 99% of undercover operations that result in gunfire is because the undercover operative was so convincing to the villains.
Wow, because that's not something I think that we think about.
Right.
You're right. You automatically think, well, I wonder if the bad guys figured out who they were.
Rarely. It's usually the officers have done such a good job in their contacts with the person that the criminal and their group have decided this person is a victim now because they can't report it to the police. Usually if a bad guy determines or suspects that an undercover operative is a police officer, they simply won't show up at the deal or they'll walk away.
So we're going to show you a little video of Chandler here. Last year, a Chandler police detective was killed and 2 others wounded when an undercover operation went bad in a South Phoenix home. The suspects fired after they discovered the undercover officers' identities. Now, is Joe being discovered the biggest danger facing undercover officers?
No, the biggest danger, again, is playing the role so well that the criminals believe you are a fellow criminal and they can rob you. In the Chandler case, and I did research last night to verify that I was right. In fact, the police officers played their role too well. They showed up with what the suspects believed were narcotics, and the suspects attempted to rob them. They did not know they were police officers.
Interesting. What about tactics? Have tactics changed over the course of the years by undercover police officers?
In most of your more progressive agencies, a post-shooting review or post-incident review is always done, and anything that could be done better is concluded and shared throughout the nation. Tactics are always better. We no longer fly by the seat of our pants. There's many backup officers. There's great equipment available now to protect the officers, and the officers are highly trained mentally and physical now, more so than they've ever been.
Wow. All right, Joe, thank you for your perspective.
Appreciate
it. If you want to contact Joe Gordon, you can reach him at veritasintel.com, where he is a private investigative consultant. Emma, will send it back over to you.